John Henry by Melina, Natsu, Saikiran, and George. It was a black and stormy night. Thunder was loud as 1,000 boulders crashing down from mountains and cliff tops. A gifted boy was born in a little cabin near a river. His name was John Henry. When he was born, everybody was surprised to see a baby looking so big and strong. John Henry was born with a great hammer in his hand.
This boy is special. He was brought from the gods.
John's parents were very proud of their son. They didn't expect such a big boy. As the years passed, John grew bigger and stronger. Just when he was a young boy, he started a job as a steel driver, and he became a professional steel driver very fast because he had a big body and strong muscles. He was gifted. He was a natural professional. A steel driver was a man who drilled steel spikes into solid rock. By the age of 10, he was hammering steel from dawn till dark. Soon enough, he became the best steel driver in the whole nation. He sang and whistled while he worked, and he worked all day long without even stopping for a drop of water. Steel driver bosses were always asking him to come and work for them, but he refused because he thought he was just fine where he was. When the other workers were tired, John was always willing to do the work for them. The men always tried to thank him, but all John did was to smile and say,
"A man ain't nothing but a man. He's just gotta do his best."
And then John picked up his hammer and started working again. Even though the men never did anything to actually thank him, John didn't mind because it was he that volunteered. One day, a city saleswoman came up to the work site and said,
"Hey everybody, do you want to see the new invention, a steam drill? It's so fast at steel driving that it can drill holes faster than a dozen men working together."
All of a sudden, everybody stopped working and they crowded around to hear what was going on. Then the boss chuckled.
"I don't know about that. We have John Henry the champion, and he is the best steel driver in the history of steel driving. He can beat 24 men working together. Sorry, but no need for the steam drill."
The city saleswoman wasn't about to just give up yet, so she said something back.
"That's impossible. No one could beat that amazing machine. But if you can prove that your worker is faster than my machine, I'll give you my steam driller for free."
So the boss and the saleswoman made a deal. John Henry will have a competition with the steam driller, and if John is able to beat the steam driller, the boss will be able to earn the machine for free. The boss murmured,
"This competition will end fast. I know for sure that John is going to win. I have the best work in the history of steel driving."
While the boss and the saleswoman were still talking, John came along.
"And here he is, the best steel driver in the company. No, the best steel driver in the nation. See his big muscles? John, I just made a deal with this woman. She's from the city and she's a saleswoman. She brought along a steam drill that could drill holes faster than a dozen men working together all at once. She's saying that no one can beat this machine, but I know that you're better than this machine. So are you willing to challenge?"
"I'll take this challenge. I'll beat that steam driller for you, sir."
After John Henry heard all the information that he needed to hear, he went home for some rest, and his daughter came running to him and said,
"Daddy, I want to be a steam driller just like you."
"Someday you will." Then the wife came along and John said,
"My dear wife, Lucy, I'm going to beat that steam drill tomorrow and make my boss proud." "Sure, you will, darling. You're the best steam driller ever. It's obvious you will beat that machine. You will be even more famous when you beat him."
On the day of the competition, lots of people came from around Virginia to watch this race. Tons of people were fighting over who would win. John pulled the boss away from the crowd and said,
"Sir, I'm going to positive that I would let you down."
"Positive?"
"Sir, I'm positive that I won't let you down. I'm going to teach that city saleswoman not to have another competition again with me in steel driving."
The boss smiled at John if he was smiling to his son very proudly. Everyone was on the grass standing for the competition to begin.
John was sure to win.
No, John can't run out that machine. He might be really good steel driver, but the thing is, he's versing a machine.
I think that John will win. He's unbeatable.
John Henry and his fellow teammates followed him and went to the ground where the race took place, ready to start. The steam driller and John got ready to start. Bam! The race began. As the steam driller started, John kissed his hammer and started too. At first, the steam driller went twice as fast, but that didn't stop John. He soon took another hammer and started working twice as fast as before.
Wow, John is planning to use 2 hammers at once? He thinks he can actually beat that steam drill. Man, this competition will last forever.
And to many people, the competition really felt like forever until finally the motor of the steam driller stopped. All the cheering stopped and everybody listened for the banging of John's hammer. John Henry has beaten the steam driller.
John, you won the contest. You won. You beat the steam drill.
Everybody cheered again, but John kept on going, hammering and banging on the hard, solid rocks. The crowd started wondering what exactly was going on.
Hey, champion, come out here and let's cheer for you. You can stop working and relax. You've done a splendid job. I knew you'd win.
Even though John's boss said stop, John kept on hammering and banging and ignored his boss's comment. Soon everybody started talking about John. What has happened to him?
Come on, John, you need a break.
I'll keep hammering until my heart stops breathing. John, we all know you're tired. Come outside and relax.
But John still kept on hammering. First, everybody was joking and having side conversations with each other, but as the minutes went by, everybody started worrying. The most worried person was Lucy.
What has happened, John? Why is he still hammering? Isn't the competition over?
Then all of a sudden, the banging finally stopped. Everybody was glad that he stopped, but then there was silence. It didn't sound like John was walking in the cave that he had been steel driving. Everybody became frightened that something might have happened to John. And they were right, something did happen to him. A few men hurried to where John had been hammering the last few minutes. Everybody held their breath. When the men came out, they were carrying John, looking very pale. Everybody couldn't believe it. Didn't want to believe what they were seeing.
John, what has happened? Are you all right? You're looking so ill. This can't be happening. You must have steel drilled too much for too long. I beat the steam driller, and it's my time to die. Please don't go, John. It's still too early. You need to live. Oh, you can't just be gone all of a sudden. Oh, you're such a good man. I wish you had the strength to talk a little more.
John smiled and slowly closed his eyes. He had a peaceful smile on his face. John lay on the ground holding the hammer firmly in his hand, just like when he was born. John was gone forever. The best steam driller in the nation, no, the best in the world, was never to come back again. When everybody finally started to calm down, a few men brought him down the river near where the cabin John was born in and buried him there. This was a great loss for a lot of people. While John was being buried, Lucy sniffled.
Oh, what am I supposed to do? I still can't believe this. I wish I was dreaming.
After John's death, the steam driller soon took over steel driving. More and more machines were being made, and most of the steel drivers were losing their jobs. The few that remained working were responsible for controlling the machine, not steel driving themselves. People that were friends of John's had to go to the city to get a job, and they didn't get paid very much. To remember John, they often talked and sang about him. They might have never seen John again, but they always remembered him as a good man.